Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to I Am Grace. Today we are going to read about the three Hebrew boys and I am totally excited. Okay, so lately we've been talking about how God is going to rescue us and what we need to do in order to get this rescue going, right? And I like where this is headed off to. But pertaining to the three Hebrew boys, what really spoke to me about this story is the fact that even though they were, captured and they've been under someone else's authority, even though they're not physically home, they did not forget their moral and values. They still carried that with them. And I believe and know and experience that when God sends us out anywhere, we can't adapt to the environments we're in. I'm not going to say adapt, but we can't start doing things that other people are doing when God has already instilled morals and values inside of us. We have to keep hold of those things. And I honestly believe that God is going to speak to us when He sends us out, and we will have to stand our ground when it comes to what we've learned, our values, our morals. What did God say about us? And there are going to be things that will cost us. It will be. But God still says that He will rescue us even in those times, that He won't leave us alone. That if you dare stand on what I put inside you and believe what I say and stick to the laws that I give you, I will rescue you. Doesn't say that it won't happen, but He does say when it does happen, I will rescue you still. So it's like God showing up in every situation. Doesn't matter what it is. God still says, I will rescue you. So we are going to learn in Daniel 3 with the three Hebrew boys, and I love. Okay, so we are going to review some text, and that's going to be from Psalms 91, and it's going to be 14, 8, and 15. I'm going to read Psalms 91 from the Amplified version, so I'm just going to go over the review text, and then we'll get on to the new stuff. So Psalms 91:14, the Amplified version, it says, because He set His love on me, therefore I will save Him. I will set Him securely on high. Because He knows my name, He confidently trusts and relies on me, knowing I will never abandon Him. No, never. I like that kind of talk right there. That is amazing. Psalms 91:8 reads, you will only be a spectator as you look on with your eyes and witness the divine repayment of the wicked, as you watch safely from the shelter of the Most High. Ooh. All right. Psalms 91:15. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and honor him. I will rescue him and honor him. That's amazing. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and honor him. That's amazing. Okay. So I really couldn't decide if we should read the whole thing, because to me it's not long, but because it's a story, and who really wants to just skip some parts? You really want to know it. But to save time, I decided that I'll just tell you the few verses before our actual kick-in text. So basically, okay, so they are now currently under King Jehoshaphat. No, wrong one. I was about to say somebody else. But King Nebuchadnezzar. And Sir King here decides that he wants to build a statue out of gold, and that everyone, including the three boys, they should worship this statue. Not, baby, what does this statue do that you want me to worship it? Like, what? It don't even do nothing. Like, and like, why you let us worship in this statue? Like, why? But anyway, so he builds it. He wants them to worship it. He makes a decree that at the sounds, when they make a sound, everyone needs to bow down and worship this thing. And the three Hebrew boys is just like, we don't do that. That ain't even God we serve. We don't do that. First of all, first commandment says that we shouldn't be worshiping nobody but the good old Lord. So we can't do this, right? Some messy nosy people decide to tell the king that the three boys is not doing this. They not acknowledging you. They just not, right? So then he has them sent to him, and he has them sent to him, and literally, like, he gets his answer up front. So let's get into it, because that's where we're gonna pick up at. It's going to be Daniel 3:14. And Nebuchadnezzar says to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you refuse to serve my gods or to worship the golden statue I have set up? I will give you one more chance to bow down and worship the statue I have made when you hear the sound of the musical instruments. But if you refuse, you will be thrown immediately into the blazing furnace. And then what God will be able to rescue you from my power?" I just honestly felt like he just gave God this invitation to show up and show out. Because he tried it. He said, and then what God will be able to rescue you from my power. Okay. My favorite part of this is the next one, which is Daniel 3:16 through 18. You ready? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to him, "King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up." Because praise the Lord. First of all, let me tell y'all, I got real excited when they said that. Just like, let me get you right fast. Let me tell you what's up. Just stand up. Yes. Okay. Bring it back down. But that excited me just all the way, because he tried my good old Lord. No, he didn't. He said, "And what God?" Because you don't know no God like mine. That's the problem. That's the problem. That is the problem. Okay, so the reason why I brought back the Psalms 91 verses is because, you guys, everything was just lining up. God was just, woo, he was blowing my mind. But remember in Psalms 91 and 14, where it says, "Because he set his love on me, therefore I will save him." Because he set his love on me. Like, the fact that they didn't bow down and worship a false god, and they were determined to stand for the God they serve, they love God that much that I would not serve no other God. Not even if it'll cause me pain or trouble. I will not. God, I love you that much that I will not serve another God. And it just brought me back to Psalms 91. Yeah, so that amazed me. That amazed me a whole lot. That blew my mind, honestly. All right. Um, oof, that was just amazing. But yeah. All right, let me get back to the story. Let me get back to the story. Where was I? Okay. So Daniel 3, Lord. Where did I just go? Okay. I'm multitasking at one time. Bear with me. I got this. Okay. So then Nebuchadnezzar, verse 19. Nebuchadnezzar was so furious with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego that his face became distorted with rage. He commanded that the furnace be heated 7 times hotter than usual. Then he ordered some of the strongest men of his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the blazing furnace. So they tied them up and threw them into the furnace, fully dressed in their pans, turbans, robes, and other garments. And because the king in his anger had demanded such a hot fire in the furnace, the flames killed the soldiers as they threw the 3 men in. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, securely tied, fell into the roaring flames. But suddenly Nebuchadnezzar jumped up in amazement and exclaimed to his advisors, "Didn't we tie up the 3 men and threw them into the furnace?" "Yes, your majesty, we certainly did," they replied. "Look," Nebuchadnezzar shouted, "I see 4 men unbound walking around in the fire unharmed, and the 4th looks like a god." Then I'm sorry. Ooh, because Jesus got a way of showing up and showing out. What can I say? Then Nebuchadnezzar came as close as he could to the door of the flaming furnace and shouted, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out here." Now that is just pause right fast, because we went from "and what God will save you from my hand" to the Most High God. Now you ain't even served this God, but oh, he Most High now, huh? It just amazes me. It just amazes me. Come on, let's keep going. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stepped out of the fire. Wow. Then the high officers, officials, governors, and advisors crowded around them and saw that the fire had not touched them. Not a hair on their head was singed, and their clothes were not scorched. They didn't even smell of smoke. That's amazing. Then Nebuchadnezzar said, "Praise to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He sent his angel to rescue his servants who trusted in him. They defied the king's commands and were willing to die rather than to serve or worship any god except their own. Therefore, I make this decree: if any people, whatever their race or nation or language, speak a word against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they will be torn limb from limb, and their houses will be turned into heaps of rubble. There is no other God who can rescue like this." Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to even higher positions in the province of Babylon. Wow. What? Okay, so this is the real reason why we brought back the verses from Psalms 91. I know y'all had to sense it. I know y'all had to sense it. In that story, when he says, "Because he set his love on me, therefore I will save him," I will set him securely on high because he knows my name. He confidently trusts and relies on me, knowing I will never abandon him. No, never. Ooh. Ooh. You guys, like in Daniel 3:16-18, they stood their ground. And when they spoke to the king, they let him know, I know the God I serve. And even if he does not rescue us out this fire, he's able to. He's able to. Sometimes God do things and sometimes God doesn't do things. But just because he does not do it does not mean he's not able. It just means he has other plans and your job is to sit back and watch, right? Now, mind you, what is it? Psalms 91:8, it says, you will only be a spectator as you look on with your eyes and witness the divine repayment of the wicked as you watch safely from the shelter of the Most High. Those men that threw them in the fire, they threw them in the fire. They were not in the fire. They threw them in the fire, right? And the boys were in the fire. But as you heard, they didn't look like it and they didn't smell like it. But the men who threw them in the fire were killed by this fire because it was 7 times hotter. God allowed them to be in the fire and also watch what happens when you try God's people like that. Like, I'm telling you, this blew my mind. Now, I had I think anyone who's familiar with the Bible, you've heard the 3 Hebrew boys, but it's not until you witness it. And it's not until you witness it and God really starts to speak to you and you, Jesus. It's like when God connects his word with your situation, it gives you a deeper connection with God, but it also feeds your faith. It also feeds your faith. If you ever notice when God sends you into the word or he reminds you of something you read and he connects it to your story, the next time you do go through something, you're looking to God like, okay, well, what do I need to do and who do I need to become? What I need to let go? You no longer ask or question, is God capable or will he do it? Right? Okay, so, and then we have, Psalms 91:15. He will call upon me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and honor him. That last part, that last part, that's why I really read the whole thing until the end, because what Nebuchadnezzar said spoke volumes. It spoke volumes. It spoke volumes. It spoke volumes. I'm going to read it one more time. Psalms 91:15. He will call upon me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. Mind you, Nebuchadnezzar said that it's a 4th man in there and it looks like a god. Then he even said towards the very, very end that God sent an angel to rescue the men from the king's hand. He answered his own question. He got his own question answered, okay? When he asked, then what God would be able to rescue you from my hand? And towards the end, he said out his own mouth that God sent an angel to rescue them out of the king's hand. Not only that, towards the end of the story, God said he would rescue them and honor them. He rescued them and he also honored them. In the end, it says that then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to even higher positions in the province of Babylon. That's the God you serve right there. Like, boom. That is the God you serve. When God builds you up, and because let me tell you, God does a marvelous work in people. When he get his hands on you, when you let him do what he need to do, he undo all the things that just will not do. This is not what I sent you in this world with. This is not what it was. It's not what it was. Then he builds you up and he brings you back to the person that he had in mind. And then he sends you out. When he sends you out, you are the person that's going to do the impact. Okay? You are one of those agents for God. You're going to start the impact. And not everyone is going to see eye to eye, or there are going to be some things that people will try to introduce you to that are not of God. But that does not mean that you should be as them or move as they do. The word says, don't be of the world. Be in the world, but not of the world. And don't turn from God just to fit in with the world is what I'm trying to say. And those I want to say opportunities, but those things will come, but it's your job to turn it down. I can't do things that you do. That's not how God has me. That's not what God sent me here to do. And sometimes there will be repercussions. But you have to know that even though the weapon form, it will not prosper. Even though, things are coming up against you because you didn't do what people around you wanted you to do, God is going to rescue you from that. He will not tell you to not do something and know that there are repercussions coming and he's not going to save you from it. Like, that's not the God you serve. And this story just plainly, you got to hear in Psalm 91, God tells you he got you and that, he will save you. And when he saved you, he will also honor you. But that's all because you trust in him. You know who he is and you know what he's about. Because you know my name, right? So in Daniel 3, we got to see his promise played out so perfectly, so amazing. Like, the weapon did form. Like, it did. That, not only was there a fire, waiting for them, but it was 7 times hotter. 7 times hotter. And God still rescued them. And after he rescued them, he promoted them. The same person that decreed them, that ordered that they should go in there, it's the same people that done made a whole decree about how anyone speak against the God that they serve will get the same punishment. Like, you got to see it. You also got to see them watch. The same people who threw them in the fire got destroyed by the fire. And they did not. Remember when he said he would command his angels when it comes to us? He had an angel right there in the fire with them. They were no longer tied up. When they came out, they did not look like the fire or smell like it. Sorry, outside noise. But God really had his hands on this thing the whole entire time. Wow, this blew my mind. It amazed me. I don't care how many times I had done read this story. It was nothing like this time. And oh my goodness, I honestly feel like this is just building up our faith more and more and more. So that's all for today. I would strongly encourage you guys to go back and read Daniel 3, the 3 Hebrew boys, and really get into it. Really, because I think that when we read something, we're usually seeing it through the situation that we're going through. And I think that when you read Daniel 3, you will see how it flows with your situation. And I pray that your prayer to God will be not to move my situation, but who do I need to become in this situation? Because God, I know that you can do it. So who do I need to become? What do I need to let go? And most likely fear, anxiety, all those things that tell you you can't, or God won't, or God can't, you're gonna have to let go. You know, you're gonna have to cast those thoughts down, because they dare to go against who God is and what God says. So I would strongly suggest that you would read Daniel 3 for yourself, so that you can connect with it in your own situation, so that your eyes can see it. And God can enlighten you. Every time you go to God's word, he enlightens. So yes, I would most strongly suggest Daniel 3. I was supposed to do announcements in the beginning, but we can do it now. So I know on our IG page, I put up this week's agenda, and yes, yesterday was supposed to be this video, which is going up today, December 22nd. Sorry. No, actually, it was supposed to go up Monday, and it didn't, because I really thought that I would be able to do all that, to record it and put it up, and it did not happen. It did not happen. Either the energy wasn't there, or it was too much noise and things going on. And then I also put on the agenda that I was gonna upload an episode for the podcast. I thought that I could upload the podcast yesterday in the morning, and it did not happen. It did not work out. And then when I got home after my birthday celebration, it still did not happen. So but for sure, this is getting uploaded. Well, you're seeing it, so it's uploaded, and I will most definitely record the podcast right after this, and I'm gonna upload it as soon as I'm done. So next week will be right where it's supposed to be, okay? Sunday morning affirmations would be up early in the morning, like usually around 12ish. And then Monday will be the YouTube video, the Love Letters from God. That's just what I call this right here. And Tuesday will be the podcast episodes will be up. So I'm going to try to keep it there, so that way I can prepare for the next following week during those Wednesday through Sunday type things. Yeah. So I just want to thank you guys for being so patient and always coming back and being a part of I Am Grace. I think as your faith grows, that you should also share what you learned with others. So whatever you learn from anywhere, doesn't matter. I think that you should also share. And also, your testimony is valuable. Even though you may feel like it's not, you never know. The words that come out of your mouth can be what somebody else needed to hear, or what they needed to help grow their faith. Like, you guys, I'm a person that I really do believe when let me close my laptop. When the word says that, Jesus, I'm trying to remember. I got so many in my head. That we overcome by the word and by other people's testimonies. It's so true. You, like, me personally, I'm a person, I'm on YouTube all the time. And when I hear how God has moved people's lives and how he's changed them and transformed them, that really helped build up my faith and belief that God can do it for me. Like, I didn't just wake up like this. I didn't come out the womb like this, so much faith. And there are times when I don't feel like this. But I also have to remember the God that I serve, the God that I know, the God that saved me, that transformed my life. Excuse me. So your testimony is important. Let me tell you. I'll give you a quick testimony. From the age 16 to 27, every time a birthday came around, I didn't feel like anything. Like, it felt like another year wasted past. I'm still stuck. I still can't get it right. And it wasn't, and let me tell you, it wasn't even I woke up on my 28th birthday and felt like all fresh and renewed. It was months before, you guys. That process of that, will not feeling stuck in all those things, that started around the time I started uploading videos on YouTube. The first time, the very first time. You know, that, like, I started to feel like this before my 28th birthday even came. Like, if you don't believe God can do it, look at me. I'm the girl who was depressed. I'm the girl that felt stuck. I'm the girl that couldn't finish what she started. I was that girl. I was that girl who hated herself. I was that girl who couldn't see herself for who God really said she was. Like, I was that girl. Poverty. No job. Went from having a job to no job to getting into debt. God took me out of debt. God put me into school. And it's just like, yo, don't count yourself out. Don't tell yourself what God can't do for you. Give him a chance to blow your mind. Blow your mind. Blow your mind. If you need some inspiration, you can look on my personal IG, and that is the THEE_purpose_coach. And you can look back, and you will start to see this transformation. There's a huge difference from when I was so stuck to being so whole and free. Don't count yourself out. In the beginning of your process, you may not see it, but you may feel it, or you may not feel it, but you can somewhat see it. You know, it varies for different people, but you've just got to get in rhythm with God for you, not for what you see, what somebody else has. Don't compare your experiences to no one else's, but do say, okay, you know what? God did it for them. God may not do it for you how you saw him do it for somebody else, but the point of the matter is God will do it. He will do it. As I planned, so it will be. As I purposed, so it will happen. God will do it. Don't fall in love with how he did it for someone else. But God, how can you do it for me? What do I need to do? Always ask God, what do you need to do? Because God is always waiting for us to respond, to get into place, to take our rightful places in him. You know? Yeah. You guys, I just really wholly believe that God wants to do a new thing. That when we read that, it's not just him saying it. God wants to do a new thing. So keep coming back, and I'm going to keep taking you into the word. And as God leads me, I'll share with you. Right? So I'm Ann Cam. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you really will take what you've learned and apply it to your life. Get to know the God we serve and fall in love with him for yourself. Not just for what I say, but for yourself. All right? So I'm Aunt Cam. You can keep up with us on our Instagram page. I am Grace. I will link it down in the description box. Don't forget to share if you are new and you're not a subscriber. If you like what you have heard, do check out our previous videos. And if you like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell so you'll be notified every time we do upload a video. You can check out our podcast. I will also link that down below. And enjoy the rest of your week. And happy holidays. Bye.